Hey, in this particular video, we're going to talk about how do we kind of project the data of a custom data, whatever I'm having into Grafana dashboard. So like you see in the dashboard, so I would like to do some URL monitoring, and that particular URL monitoring, I'm doing with some custom script, maybe like there's no Prometheus exporter which is available, and I don't want to end up with writing a big Golang script but still I wanted to project the data in Grafana. So maybe with a simple shell commands, if you can able to expose the data with a shell script, and that particular shell script data can be fed by a custom exporter, so which is this Git repository is actually offering that. Here are the two servers which I'm taking. So one is Grafana and the other one is Prometheus. So I already okay, let me connect to the machines. So here is the machine 1 and here is the machine 2. And in these particular machines, I'm just going to set the prompt, just saying it is Grafana so that I'll not confuse. Same thing on the other side, I'll say it is Prometheus so that I'll not confuse the things. And now here, there's a custom scripts available to install Grafana and Prometheus. So I'll just go and install the Grafana in a simple manner. So I know there's Grafana tool is directly available, I'm installing it, and whereas the same way I can also install Prometheus, but I don't remember the exact name. Maybe Prometheus server is the one it is telling, so Prometheus server. Now this says that Prometheus server is already done, so let me just go here, and 9090 is a port for Prometheus. If I see this, I'm able to access the Prometheus server software. Now once after the Grafana is installed, so we'll just log into Grafana and we'll point to the this particular Prometheus as a data source, and this Prometheus data will be able to see it on the Grafana side. I just fast forwarded the screen recording so that now we can see that the Grafana has been installed and it is started successfully. Usually the Grafana starts on port number 3000, so I will just open this particular server on 3000 port. And the default username is admin, and the password is also going to be admin, I think, and the password is asking to change it, so maybe I'll set some password. So this is a brand new dashboard of my Prometheus, and whereas now if I would like to go to the data source, there are no data sources. I would like to add the Prometheus as a data source, and the IP address of the Prometheus server is this. I would like to take that 9090, and I would like to save and test. So it is saying data source saved, also saying data source is working, so which is fine. Now I added the data, so probably if I wanted to project the simple health status maybe of my Prometheus server itself, so probably I'll go here. I would like to check like maybe let it come. So an up query I'll do. So the up query is actually going to provide zeros and ones. If the server of Prometheus server itself is up, I'll get 1. If it is down, I'll get 0. Now here I would like to project this data as a stat data, so which I can show this. Also I'll represent the data as add a value mapping. So I would like to say that if it is a value equal to 1, and I would like to say this is up. Also I would like to set a color, a green color, and also if it is value is down, so which is 0, you are going to get it, and you are going to get down. So since it is a down, I would like to represent that as this way. Now this will simply give me an information that whether the Prometheus server is up or down, right? So Prometheus server status. So probably I'll just apply this. Now this way I would able to understand that the Prometheus is kind of up now. The same way, now what I wanted to do is I wanted to go to the custom exporter and I want to fetch some data, and I would like to project that particular data maybe here for a custom requirement, I'll just do some curl of a particular URL and find it out whether it's up or down. Okay, so in order to understand that, so I will go with the custom exporter and I'll export the data now. So how to do that? So this guy is telling they have one release, so probably I'll go to the release, and so here I would like to download the appropriate version, and we are using Linux 64-bit, so I will just choose this. And on the Prometheus server side itself, I would like to go to the root user, or maybe I'll go to OPT and I'll keep this particular mkdir, so prom custom exporter, and then so I would like to see the size. It came some 12 MB. Okay, so then probably something like that. I would like to provide some executable permissions. Now I wanted to check whether the binary is working. So perfect, it is working as expected. So all we need to do is we need to start this particular service on a particular port and giving a shell script, by the way. And if we refer the documentation, so the shell script need to expose certain information, by the way. So that information of the shell script need to provide as what is the system information and what is the subsystem information and what is the metric name and the metric value. So we'll look into this, and there's some demo is also given here, and we'll just go with that. So but for to start this particular one as a service, so that I don't need to really bother about it, so probably I'll rely on the systemd. So cd/etc system do ls, and I have a Prometheus.service, so I'll just copy this to, and I'll just give the name as custom-exporter.service, and this becomes custom-exporter, and inside this I'm going to so maybe the working directory is essentially not needed. I can directly give the binary. -opt. Let me browse the file. Or let me get the full path. So this is the one, and to this we are going to require to pass this information. So this is the information, and the script path I am going to provide. So where I am going to keep the script, I would like to provide under /opt/ in the same script, so probably /curl.sh or something like that. This is the one, and this Prometheus node exporter is going to expose in some other port number, so which I would like to give it as 9090 or 8999 port number, so something like that. And the timeout, by the way, so what timeout is telling is, so the timeout is about the default timeout given over here is maybe like 5 seconds, so which is I'm feeling like the script timeout. If the script is not able to return the data within the 5 seconds, I think it is going to consider that as a timeout. So we'll take the same value 5 seconds and we'll keep it in the configuration. Alright, so this is the thing I wanted to provide. So now let me load this systemctl daemon reload, and then systemctl restart custom exporter. So let's start lntp. So I don't see that actually has been started. So there is some reason. So let's take a look. So systemctl status custom-exported. Maybe it is a failure because of that particular command. So this curl.sh is not there, so that may be the reason it may be a failing. Okay, so yeah, provider script is empty and does not have any output. Maybe we need to get the script ready first, and let's do the job. So we have curl.sh. So maybe I'll just do a curl google.com. So I want to browse google.com whether it's up or not. So probably how do I verify that? So /bin/bash. So now curl -s, okay, and -f https://google.com, okay, google.com, and I don't want any output, by the way. I'll just simply give this, and after that I want to print some exit status. So this much is fine. So the curl -f is going to return a status. If it is all good, by the way, it is going to give, if the curl is actually failing with some other 400 or 500 errors, it is going to give a failure message, by the way. So curl -l also I'm providing. So great. So now simply bash. If I do this, I'm getting 0 because the curl.com does exist, by the way. So for an example, I just wanted to test this server itself. Maybe this server itself may not be available. So that's where just for testing purpose, maybe I will simply give this IP address. In this particular case, I'm going to get an exit status which is not equivalent to 0, which determines that, which is not equivalent to 0. So that determines it is 7. But for Grafana to project the data, either I want to have it a simple way. So that means I'm going to provide a simple data. So if the exit status is equivalent to 0, then if the status is equivalent to 0, then I'll give exit 0, and else for any reason, so I would like to give a failure status, so which is exit 1. Okay. A simple modification I have done. So because I wanted to, previously we already seen that so the value mapping we have done for one of the uptime status we are checking is basically 0 is we are considering as down and 1 is considered as good, by the way. So in that particular case, I think that logic makes sense. So now here I would like to need to change this. So exit 1 I want, and whereas exit 0 I want. So because I'm looking this as not an exit status, I'm looking this as a value, by the way. Okay, so yeah, not even exit actually. So exit is not the one I'm preferring to do, and I need to do is okay, so something else, by the way. Now what is that something else? And this particular program is actually telling, now you need to tell this is the way that you need to provide. Now that's where I'm going to give echo, and I will give this. The metric value is 1 because it is good, and the metric name is so URL_up. I am not sure. So system I'm considering I will provide I'm thinking to provide something like probably like Google URL or custom URL up, custom URL status, and probably I would like to give some subsystem also. This is or maybe you keep it like so this is a custom guy, and inside that it is URL status. So and so this is maybe google.com, and it is up, by the way. So now if it is down, so the same thing, we are going to send a status 0. So this is where it is trying to expect it. Now we are going to do this, and if I just try to execute this, I get this particular output. So I'll provide the exit status like this, and systemctl restart systemctl status, systemctl status this, and it is fine and it is running, and you can check the port number netstat-lntp. So that means this is actually available to hit, and we can able to collect the data. Now first what I'm going to do is I'm going to tell to my Prometheus, hey, collect the data from this guy, and I'm going to update that in the configuration. So here cd/opt Prometheus, and there's a prometheus.cfg, prometheus.yml, not cfg, and here I'm going to say that hey, you kind of get the configuration from another machine as well, so which is again localhost only in this case, and with a port number 8999. You start getting it, systemctl restart Prometheus. So far it's good. I see the Prometheus is working fine as expected. So now let it start collecting the data. So the service is running, and now the Prometheus will start collecting the data, and we're going to see that particular data very soon, by the way, in the Prometheus. So probably we can also cross verify that. I go to Prometheus here, I'll go to the configuration. I should be able to see that another one as well. Now also the we have given the metric name as our system name as per here. We provide the system name as custom, so that means it will come here as a custom. So start getting the things as custom. So you can see this, the Prometheus custom exporter is there, and you can just try to execute it, and it is offering some data. So that data information is system is custom, subsystem is URL status, and you can always customize this as per the information that you want to provide, and the data is coming as 1. Now this is the data that I wanted to use it, and I would like to take this and proceed to Grafana, and I wanted to project a new dashboard. So which is, so we already have here new guy, the same thing, this guy, and it's giving 1 stat So I'll just come here, add value mappings. So if it is 1, it is going to be, it's going to be up, it's going to be 0, it's going to be down, probably this is this, this is this, right? So just update this. All right, so just click on apply. So you're getting multiple, which is okay. You're getting 2 host information, so one is localhost and local 999. So because you just went with the up, which is okay, but you try to see this, we're actually trying to understand. So now the Google is up, maybe a google.com, or it can be any other custom URL website you can monitor in your local system, in your environment, or it can be anything. All it needs is zeros and ones, or it could be anything. Like if you want to project the data in a graph time series database, every time you point it to some number, whatever is the return value, it just brings in and kind of project the information over here. So this is how okay, I would like to so project the information with the help of Prometheus custom exporter, and you kind of so put it into the dashboard. So now you don't need to really write a super complex Golang, or you need to learn Golang and do this, because any exporter you want to do that with the Prometheus, you need a Golang. That is simply avoided. And if you know the shell commands, and you at least you can frame it up in a proper way in a small script, and you build up the little logic around that, and you simply pass it to the exporter, and maybe this can do the job. Now you can just run many exporters as possible on a system wherever you wanted to run a particular script. So the only disadvantage you see is maybe 10 scripts if I'm having. So then probably I need to run some 10 commands in the background, or run it as a 10 services. Or maybe if you go into the container world, it is much simplified again. You just run some 10 containers in a Kubernetes world. Maybe it is run the 10 containers in a pod, it can do the job. Or else if it is a Docker Compose kind of a thing, so you can just run the 10 containers at a shot and you can do the job. Okay, so this is how you can able to do a custom monitoring with Prometheus with a simple data, whatever you have it, like zeros and ones, you project it to in a beautiful dashboard like this. Thank you. See you in next video.